my God. Freaking episode 51. Welcome to the Home Tour Podcast. I'm Tyler Willis, Tyler Willis Media. Peyton, what you got going on nowadays?
Everything. I have everything going on. Hey guys, it's Payton with Payton Peoples and Company, Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners. Megan.
It's Megan Mulvey, your Hudson Homes girl with Cross Country Mortgage.
Boom. And hey, guys, it's coming up on the end of April, beginning of May, and it is listing season blitz. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What you can do to prepare, what's going on in the market, what's crazy right now. So
all of it.
A little bit of everything. So from high level, from what I see, last week I had 31. This week I got 30. So like it is full freaking swing on listing season. So what are y'all seeing right now?
Same. Full send. Everyone is crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's because I was just talking to somebody in my office about this, that it's interesting how it's different county to county.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Fayette County, we're seeing things they're not really sitting, or if they sit, they're only sitting for a very short amount of time. Typically, just things are moving very quickly. In Coweta County, things are sitting longer. But the more we inch towards the end of the school year, it's really picking up. And that's always one of those indicators, too, of the school year's wrapping up.
Yep.
If we're going to make a move, we're doing it now so that we can get settled in our new place by the time school starts going.
We just had here in my neighborhood, we just had 2 families move in because they were getting ready for next school year. Mm-hmm. And I live in new construction. So like it's crazy that you have to prepare this far ahead, but you want to make sure that you get a couple months in the house, to get acclimated to the new area, see if they can find any friends, and then you get started with the school system. So like it's a several month process now, not just, we're going to move and be like ready in a week. That's not how it works anymore.
No, especially if you've got kids and all of that. On the list side, it's definitely crazy because people are starting to get their house ready and do all of that. And I'm having Tyler run all over the world to take pictures for me. But then I'm also on the buy side. Oh. It's becoming a little less stressful because there's more listings. What?
Bam! Hit you in the face with a microphone, bitches.
It's becoming a lot. There's a lot more options available to the buyers.
Yep.
So that's when it's making Megan's job.
Oh God, I could only imagine.
Yeah, because now I have my clients who we've been looking at all kinds of stuff for forever and nothing's been right. But now there's more options. And it's just, okay, Megan, run these numbers. Megan, do this. Megan, send me this letter. It's constant. So from both sides, it's intense right now.
That's what I'm definitely seeing. People like the prequel world has gotten crazier and crazier, and then comparison wise, it's gotten crazier and crazier. And I'm like, it doesn't matter until you get the contract. Let's get to that point first. Yeah. But you've seen like the sense of urgency has definitely gone from like here to here in the market.
Yeah. I feel like the last 12 months, there was like, we'll put in a contract. We'll send one in.
We'll see what happens.
36 hours. And now it's all the house. I'm sending a contract in 5 minutes. It's back to like that 2020 craze all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Especially at certain price points. Like I did one the other day that was under 400 and it was on the market for literally 45 minutes before it had 9 contracts.
Yep. I believe
I
it.
hadn't even seen the house and they were already sending in contracts again. I was like, 2020 all over again, people.
Yeah. Because I showed one yesterday. And when I talked to the agent, I was like, do you have any offers in hand or what's going on? She said, I need to check in with the client, some buyers that they flew in specifically just to see this house, but I haven't heard from them. So let me check in with them. And I'm like, that's the kind of craziness that we were in a couple of years ago of like when I had a bunch of relocation clients in the height of that craziness. That's what they were doing. They would jump on a plane and go see the house, fly home. Ugh. PTSD.
That's how it was like the 6 a.m. emails and texts. And we were just joking about this, the 10 o'clock text when I was out last night. I'm like,
yeah. And then you wake up at 5 and
start texting you guys. But that's the season. And I think we're all lucky to say we're blessed with that. Because there are some people that don't get to be a part of this, I don't know, craziness, blitz, craziness, whatever.
Yep. That's what I was having to tell Kylie the other night because we were looking at my schedule. Like, if everything goes according to plan, I will have 121 shoots for the month by the end of next week. Okay.
That's insane.
And I told her, I was like, this is listing season. I was like, it's basically April, May, June. July kind of trickles. I was like, April, May, June, check out, see you next year kind of situation. But as soon
Right.
as it's
Yep.
done, there's like
Tag
as soon
your
as school comes back, it's like halts, and so it
Yep.
just slows back down to where it's like normal life again.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
What's
hey,
what's normal speed for you? So like when it's technically slow, how
about 10 a
many
week.
shoots? Okay. Triple right
Yeah,
now.
and it's not people just doing pictures anymore. Like they're wanting to go back to the full blown. Let's do everything because we're seeing lots of stuff from out of state, and they're calling me going, "Hey, I want to see a walking video, but I didn't get one done. So now the agent has to drive back out, do one themselves." I'm like, it's going to cost you time, and just get me to do it while I'm there. And
Right.
so it just saves so much time. Like yes, it's going to cost money, but in the back end, like it's saving you time and money in the end.
Yeah.
So go ahead and spend it up front versus having to like continuously drive back out and be like, oh yeah, I'll do a private walking tour with you, blah 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 blah. So getting back to
I
that
think
kind of
you need to
stage.
start marketing like the Payton special.
I call it the
Just
whole
like,
shebang, so just do it all at one time. Just
Yep. I literally am just like, if you can do it. Like,
do it. Exactly. And what's
get
cool
out
to me, like the thing I sent you this morning, a little floor plan thing where I put the rooms in for the first time. Like
there. Yep.
something different that makes people's eye go, "Oh, let me look at all this now." It's just like catchy stuff. But I'm not the person that will do y'all can do it all day. Like I'm not getting onto y'all. But like the behind the scenes stuff, I suck at it. I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to do these little videos. But like that kind of stuff where it's like marketing for a purpose makes sense to
Mm-hmm.
me. So whatever I can do to draw more eyes to a property is what I'm going to do versus I'm going to do other kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Like my marketing is different than everybody's because I market my services, but I'm also marketing a property. So I want to be respectful while I'm
Yeah.
there.
But a lot of like how the three of us market is different than how a lot of people spend more
Oh,
time
yeah.
networking and building
Yeah.
relationships with
Yep.
does the marketing for us.
Bingo.
So
Bingo.
yeah.
Because there's some other my local competitors are doing like these videos where they're bored because nobody's hiring them, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if you got time to make that, you got time to go shoot a house. Get off your ass and go do something. So,
Find some business.
go
Yep.
do something. But the thing that got me the other day, I had somebody call me and they were like, "Hey, can you come out today?" And I was blunt. I was like, "Look, man, I'm booked out for the next 4 weeks. That's not how this operates." And he's like, "Oh, really?" Normally I can call a photographer. They can come like same day.
No,
that's when you know they're not that
that's
good.
right. That's right.
I was like, "I'm sorry, man." I was like, "I can put you in May 16th is my next available." It's like,
Like it's no different than if you call a handyman or something for your
Right.
house and they're like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, I can be there in 10 minutes." Oh, then you must not be
too
big.
bad.
Yeah, right.
What? How much is this really going to cost me?
Mm-hmm. That's right. People be
But
crazy.
okay, so on the buy side of things, what are you starting to see? Are you seeing multiple contracts? What's that looking
I
like
mean,
again?
depends on the price point. If it's really under shoot, if it's under 600,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
it's probably got multiples or somebody snags it day
Yeah.
one on the market.
Especially out here in Fayette.
So if it's over that price point, you're getting into more luxury price
mm-hmm.
points. So things tend to sit a little bit longer, but I'm even seeing days on market be like a week versus a month. So the shift has happened. It's just, I think the general public still thinks that 2020 and 2021 is going to happen again,
Yeah,
or that the whole market's going to crash. Everything's going to crash and we're going to do 08, 09 again. And I'm like, for us locally, Peachtree City, I literally told a client this yesterday. I was like, lived in Peachtree City my whole life. Peachtree City didn't experience the recession like the rest of the country did.
exactly.
Like home values in Peachtree City just did this. They just
Yeah.
stayed the same. They didn't fall.
Mm-hmm.
Typically people weren't foreclosing and losing their homes. Like of course there's going to be one-off situations, but like statistically it was just like we just didn't go up versus the majority of the
Correct.
country straight down. They call us the bubble. It's
For a
the
reason.
truth. We have our own set of rules here. But it's just it's things, and that's why you have to use somebody who's like local to the area because know this stuff, educate you on what you're doing, like the investment that you're making
yeah.
when you're buying this, you have no idea what you're walking into.
That's the one thing where I don't get, where people still are going, hey, they'll ask me, like I know, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm waiting for the market to crash so I can buy a house. Not in this area, you're not. And so,
No,
like, just buy the
they're not.
house. Yeah, the rates suck. Buy the house and then re-roll later on. But
Statistically, everything I'm seeing on TikTok and everything like that, they're talking, you know, all these like financial people are talking about how like the age of the first time home buyer keeps creeping up.
yep,
It
So
does.
this year they were saying like the first time home buyers are going to be in their 40s. Megan and I just experienced this. Like just closed one with a first time home buyer. He's single, he has a cat, you know,
Work 2
living his
jobs.
best life, but he worked 2 jobs to be able to
wow,
save to have the money to buy his first house when he's 40.
so awesome though.
So it's just, it's a different world. Like
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices have to be made. You have to know what you want. Like ultimately at the end of the day, he was like, look, I was just sick of like living out of boxes because I didn't want to be in an apartment anymore. I did my bookshelf.
Yep.
I didn't want to unpack all
Yeah.
that stuff knowing I'm just going to be in an apartment. And he's now I got a whole house and I can do whatever I want. Like exactly. So it's just, you got to meet people where they are, but at the same time, the whole like victim mentality of, oh, the whole world's out to get me.
Huh?
I am never going to be. No, you got to make a choice and you got to make the sacrifices. And if you do it, you can buy a house. It's not going to
Absolutely.
be, it's probably not going to be everything you always wanted.
No, you got to start
You're
somewhere.
going to have to make some sacrifices, but shit, my house still needs a whole lot of work. So
I just bought a brand new house and it still needs work, like stuff that I want
Right.
to do to customize it.
yeah,
And that's
perfect.
the thing. I think people are realizing, like, you can't, back 2020, 2021, whatever, when the rates were so low, it was like, oh, you can ask for all this crap. You can get a new
Yeah.
house. You can get brand new everything. You can get whatever because you can afford it with the 2% rates. Now you don't have to sacrifice, but you have to meet it in the middle and find out what truly matters. Like here in Peachtree City, when we bought our house, even last year, it was like, is it my dream house? Oh, hell no. This
Yeah.
is not my dream house.
Yeah.
But is it like the dream location for the kids and us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God help me.
Mhm.
We go to damn Johnny's every day of the week. So
Yep.
it's like you have to figure out what's important almost. But now is a great time to do it, especially with all the listings and people wanting to sell. And this always happens, but this year seems to be like crazier than.
It does seem to be that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because maybe every other year has been traumatic and so I've just blocked it out. But
Hey,
this, I
last
don't
year
know.
cancer, like shit.
Yeah, like, who knows? But it does feel crazier. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, don't just show up expecting, like what Tyler was saying. Don't just make a phone call and be like, okay, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
We got to have a plan.
Put in the work.
Don't, like, we got to start earlier. So if you're thinking this is the year that I want to buy a house, then we need to talk now. I need to know now. I need to be making the connections that I have with the people in my vendor partners, like out what they have coming. What do you know that I need to know? Then passing them off to people like Megan, letting you work all your magic on the financing side, make sure that we have all of that stuff straight. Because when we do decide to go look at houses, we gotta be ready to go. We're not messing around with, oh, I don't even know how much I'm pre-approved for. Oh, absolutely not.
No,
I
you ain't playing those games.
I could buy a $700,000 house.
Yeah. No.
No. Especially now, you got to be real smart because did y'all see the government starting to send student loans to debt collection? So if
I
you haven't been
know.
making those payments, like that's going to really screw up if you're trying to buy a house if you got a student loan debt.
Yep. Yep.
So
They're saying
that stuff you
some
got
of
to be
these,
checking in constantly all of a sudden.
some of these people are reporting that if you get sent to collections for these,
Mhm.
your credit score could drop up to 130 points. That's 100% the difference between being able to buy a house, like for Americans. But I also completely understand the panic of, oh, I can't afford groceries. How am I going to afford to buy to pay back my loans right now? I get that too.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing is fucked up. But yeah, you can't mess around with your credit score. So you got to figure that out.
But it's like we were talking just the other day. Where it's like everybody's like, well, stop buying the latte and you can buy a house. No, that's not how it works. Like you've got to have a mindset of I want to buy a house. What can I do over the course of a year, 2 years to get myself in that position to buy a house? It's not going to be like, yes, small changes over time will get you there, but making a $5 purchase once a day is not going to be a drastic, like, kick in
No.
the bucket kind
And
of
that's
thing.
what I just had lunch last week with a guy here, actually in Peachtree City, who's like a financial counselor. And it was really interesting because they have a whole plan. So I'm like, I feel comfortable, and I've sent people to him, like, because obviously I can get generic advice as to like what you can do to boost your credit score, but it's not always just a quick fix. Sometimes it's a year out or 6 months out. And so I want them with somebody who can walk with them through that whole thing and get them to where they can purchase a house. And it isn't just without the latte. There's a whole process that they can walk with them through, and it's really neat. But that's one thing about too using somebody local is like our connections, like you were talking about, Payton. Between us three, my God, I don't even know how many people we know.
It's honestly scary how many people we know. That might be a fun game to play
That would
one
be
time.
fun.
Oh,
Let's figure out how many people we can.
we're probably 6 degrees away from some pretty big people.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I was going to say it's the 6-degree thing. Yep.
Yeah. So what's that called? The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, fun story. I did one 2 weeks ago for a background actor. Like I got to his house. I was photographing his house, and he's a background actor. And he was telling me about some different movies he's been on sets with and how he's learned as a background actor how to get more screen time. And so like he just had to learn over the course of his 20 years doing it, like he has to look for certain markers on the floors, and he'll know that's where the main actor is going to be in that moment. So he'll try to position himself over there. And he was telling me how he got into this one set where he positioned himself on scene to become a regular in the show. So he went from being a one-day background actor to being there for the entire season. And it was just neat to hear that little story. Granted, it took 20, 30 minutes for us to get to the end of it. But it was just, it was neat to hear how he was like, yeah, he was like, sometimes I'll get a call from like somebody at the Trilla studio and they'll be like, hey, can you come in and be a background actor for a day? And he'll be like, no. And then the next day he'll be like, hey, we got one that we need you for 6 episodes. And he'll be like, that's the one I take. And so it was just so neat to finally meet somebody. I've met a couple other actors in the area, but like to hear a background actor story, that was neat.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So that one,
that's
very unique to our area too.
Yeah.
The stunt ones are the fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex from Borga, I'll never say it correctly. Alessandro Fulcito, I think is his name. Him and his sister own Borgo.
Oh, okay.
He's in all the stunt stuff with Marvel. Dude, like you don't want to meet him in a back alley. Yeah.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
He was in the one with The Rock where The Rock like knocked him out, that Santa movie, and I was like,
oh, that's wild. Shit. I think I saw them down on the Saturday market because they got their own
they were there.
And they sell their breads and stuff on Saturday.
We always have to go by because Hannah's friends with Sophia, so it's always
that's fun. Because on Italian conversation while people were buying stuff, and I was like, yeah, y'all are legit.
And let me tell you that bread and those cannolis, you need to try them.
I saw the cannoli and I was like, I got to go walk about 7 miles to eat that.
They're so good though.
I did DoorDash from their restaurant last night, and I got the creme brulee. Fantastic. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. I was yet to still eat there. Like I need to go eat at their restaurant. I'm only like a mile from it, so.
You have to, Tyler. Like when I tell you have to, and just prepare for an hour because they make everything from scratch.
Yeah, I'm still freaking waiting on Frid's table.
I know.
Come on, man.
Text her every week.
Health inspection.
Yeah, his health inspector.
It's the county.
Yep.
It's not.
That's exactly what she said. I was like, just know once you open, I'm there like opening day.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Before, during, after, all of it.
I told her I will finance that spigot that is like the never-ending Prosecco or whatever that she talked about. She said, I didn't do it. I'm like, but I'll finance it. Like, I will pay for that.
By myself, I'll finance that.
Lifetime unlimited mimosa pass.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh. That's hilarious. We should get her to create something like an annual mimosa pass, and you can get a card decal and the whole nine.
Yeah, man. It's like a Six Flags pass.
That's right. That's a little wide glass. Little champagne shooter.
Oh my god. Weird fucked up. Anyway.
Far off the topic.
I've got a couple of tips. Here we go. like listing purposes, getting house ready, especially right now. Here we go, because it's listing blitz. Do your landscaping before I show up and not 5 minutes before I get there. Because, swear to God, yesterday I got to a house. The guy was doing the mulch work in the front yard as I'm pulling up. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the inside first. So I was like, God, I get it. I get it. We've been literally working on this for a week and a half. And I was like, I get it. It's last minute details. So I'm going to do the inside first. Then I'll come out here. Granted, he was done in the front yard by the time I got done. Backyard was questionable. But he's going to get that fixed before showings. So he'll be able to get that all done. Because my purpose, I wanted to make sure the front looked good. Anyways.
Yep.
Second thing, get your pets out of the house.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but they'll just follow you and they'll get in frames, have to reshoot it. Like, it just takes time. Get pets out of your house. The thing, leave your air conditioner on whenever my fat ass is inside. Because
anybody, even like people touring the house, you don't want to be sweating.
It's miserable. It's miserable.
It was like 80 something degrees on the second floor, and I was
no.
like, I'm dying. It was 80 and I'm dying, man. I can only imagine what like people walking through here to see the house are gonna be like.
It's crazy too, because people do that in the winter, and it'll be legitimately, I'll be showing how the thermostat will be like, it's 47 inside because they're not running the heat. And I'm like, what is going? I can see my breath inside. It's just as miserable. Also, yes, it's probably saving you some money, but turn it on 72 or something. Like,
you need airflow. Otherwise, you're gonna have mold spores grow, and that's gonna be a whole new other issue.
Like looking at houses or like behind us, like obviously ours are closed right now because of the camera, but even when you're walking through a house, it's nice to see light.
Yes.
It just helps it feel more open.
Yeah, another thing that I learned from Tyler that I always tell my clients, now whether or not they do it is another thing, but I always tell them, open the blinds.
Yeah.
Always tell them that. And turn off the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off the ceiling fans. Because when the pictures go, they look crazy. And it distracts you from the rest of what you're supposed to be looking at the picture. You're just looking at like this flying saucer in the middle of the screen. And
why is there a circle in the room?
Right. People are,
and make sure if I'm in a single room and there's multiple light bulbs of different colors, change that. Fix that before I show up. That's the one thing that's a pet peeve of mine. If I see it, I just leave the light off. I'm like, because
it's gonna look better than having multiple different lights.
So that one, because a couple weeks ago I did a house and the homeowner was there, and we turned the lights on, and she noticed that 3 of the 4 bulbs were working and 1 bulb was out. So then she went out to the garage, switched it out, and it was a different, like it was brighter than all the other ones. So then she went back out and got 4 bulbs of the same to put in. So then we did the room 3 different ways.
Oh Lord!
That way the agent could choose which one she wanted, but then I just want to make sure the seller felt like comfortable with it too. But it was like, those are the little things. Like consistency across the whole house is what you want, because you don't want the potential buyer to jump around and be like, this room's this temperature with a light, and then this. You just want consistency. That's why with blinds, I'll go and make sure that the entire house is turned the same way before I shoot it. If one blind won't open, the whole house is closed. Yeah. I want consistency across the entire house. Even if it's because you know how I'll do the front door with the open. If the blinds on both sides of the doors, like in opposite rooms, like a dining room and like a living area up front, I'll get all of that to look the same. And if those blinds don't work, you don't get that shot. And so it's just little things that I try to make consistent across the entire house that you guys don't give 2 shits about, but I do.
I care because ultimately it does make a difference. It does. You know,
because you don't notice it until you notice it, and you're like, what's wrong?
And now that we've pointed it out, you're going to notice it every time. But the people who may be listening who are just like, oh, I've got my cell phone, I can take my own pictures, they're not going to change their mind on that. But if you don't have a photographer, if you're not using somebody like Tyler who's paying attention to that kind of stuff, it does make a difference, a huge difference in how the listing photos turn out.
Oh, so, downtown Sonoya, there's $1 million listing that just hit the market, and I'm like, I know exactly who did the house.
I saw it.
But just little things like that, because after I start seeing photos, I know who photographed it. I'm like, that's how it's going to look every time. Just stuff like that. Like, I'll catch it, but the normal person on Zillow won't notice it. Oh, speaking of Zillow, I'm going to have a house featured on Zillow going wild pretty soon.
Oh,
Yep.
that's fancy.
Yep. Be number 3. So that'll be cool once it hits
Nice.
It's going to be that one I did out in LaGrange, that mid-century one, that like State Road right house. They're supposed to do it either sometime this week or early next week.
Well. Fancy pants.
Yeah. We'll see if they even mention me. Normally, they don't mention the photographer. They'll mention the
listing
agent. So we'll see. But it'd be pretty cool. Number 3. The last one I did was what was that daggone show? Stranger Things.
Oh, the Stranger Things house.
Stranger Things house. And it blew up.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was real crazy.
Right? That was crazy.
That was real crazy.
Oh, man.
But no, listing, like, people constantly with listing season, like, why is it so busy right now? Like we talked about at the top of the show. Get ready for a new school year for number 1. And a lot of it's not mostly moving into a new school system. It's you could be aging out. 8th grade, going into 9th grade, you no longer need to be in that middle school district. 12th grade, family no longer needs to be there because you were the last kid. There's multiple reasons why people move right now. But the biggest thing that you have to remember is that you need to prepare yourself a couple of months in advance before listing season. So that way that you're ready now.
Right.
And at the beginning of listing season instead of in July whenever people have already moved.
Yeah. Agents need to be paying attention to what is going on in the market, because the reason why things are sitting is because they're pricing things based on what happened 6 months ago. They're not pricing things based on what's going on right now.
Yep.
And what's going on right now is not what happened even 6 weeks ago.
Nope.
So the pricing is unique for each area. Again, why you need somebody who is working, living in the area that you're trying to purchase or sell in. And it's agents and offices are having whole masterminds just about how to correctly, because nobody's paying attention. And they're just going off of, appraisers are going to look at what has sold in the last 6 months.
That was 6
the
months
last
ago,
6 months are not helping you right now. You need to just if you don't know how to do that, you got to be with a brokerage that's going to help you figure that out. It's a whole thing.
Here's another example. We had Tyler Duffy on a couple weeks ago. And just did one for him over in Carrollton, downtown Carrollton, like literally a street and a half over from where downtown Carrollton is. And he was telling me that in my head, they're about to experience the same boom in their prices that Noonan did several years ago. And the house that he's currently marketing, he's like, in 3 years, this house is going to be 3 times what I'm selling for now because of its location. So he's trying to get somebody to buy that one now and hold it and then sell it again in 3 or 4 years once it's already tripled.
Yep.
And so that's just another one of those mindset things of, I could buy a house in Carrollton from here in Sonoya, and use an agent from over here. But Tyler is over there in Carrollton and freaking downtown expert. So make sure, even if you're going to use your agent, make sure that they're talking with the agent in the other city to make sure that they know where those hot pockets are going to be.
Yeah, because the growth at West Georgia, at that university, is insane. Yeah. They're projected to, I think they said in the next 3 years, they'll be aligned to start playing UGA in football.
Wild.
Isn't that insane?
I remember whenever that school was the drinking school.
Right. Like when I went to West Georgia, there wasn't even a football stadium. We didn't really have a football team. Like the stadium came 2 years after I graduated.
Wow.
So it's been an insane growth because they're D1 now, which is great.
Crazy.
But for them to be able to go from no team, no stadium, nothing, and within 20 years, now they're playing UGA. Come on.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Yeah. Carrollton is easily going to be a next really large, great place for investment opportunities and make some money.
Shoot, look, Masters just happened. There's people that pay their entire yearly mortgage off of 1 week where they rent it out.
Yep. The Augusta rule exists because of the Masters. It's crazy. If you don't know what the Augusta rule is, basically it's where you're able to rent out your house for less than 14 days a year, and you don't have to pay like extra taxes or something on it. Speak with a financial advisor about that if you
Which we've had on here, by the way.
We did. Yeah. But like the Augusta rule exists because of the masters, because people just legitimately move out of their house and let other people rent it. Masters. Wild.
It's crazy. Like that whole area. If I could have, whenever I was younger, I would have bought a house there. Like I wish I could have. I just wish I had the foresight. That's insanity to me. That makes no sense.
Yeah. That was a whole side of TikTok that I got pulled into.
Oh,
watching people move out of their house for the masters and like what they do to prep their house. And I was like, what? This is crazy.
They even call it like the moving blues or something.
Yeah. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Wild.
Look it up.
They literally made enough to pay their entire morttage for a year, I think is what they said.
For a year. Easily. Yep. Easily. Yeah. Some of these people who live in million plus houses, they could rent that house out for 30 grand a week. You know what I mean? Because like, in those houses, that's where some of the like players and stuff are going to end up staying. So they're going to get their sponsors to pay for that. But these people are signing NDAs and all kinds of stuff for people to go live in your house for 2 weeks. Like, wild.
And what's crazy is you can see the videos whenever like all the locals are moving back in after Augusta, all the gas stations are lined up with people coming back in. I thought those were funny. But like in closing thoughts, like listing season, if you got a friend in the industry, send them a coffee because it's stressful right now.
Yeah.
It's
send them some encouraging words. Yeah.
Or just tell them that they're doing a good job and you're proud of them, damn it.
That's right. That's right.
Stroke their hair, but you're doing a good job, I promise.
Yep. I may or may not keep this in, but I'm going to show you. They're backwards, but these are my sister gave me these. It says, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Nice.
What the fuck? This is bullshit.
That's a cool book. I like that.
Yeah, I know. Yep. That's mentally where I am these days.
I still have my coloring books that you got me. I can't remember what it was that says on there. But
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So,
and then you could just be crazy like me and then book vacations during listing season to cause a commotion and panic.
Not me trying to like book vacations and
October
plan.
Like way later on.
It's making me sweat.
Yep. Nope. I get that. I told Kylie too. I was like, you do like we did this 2 years ago. This is right whenever I was like fully realizing like May is like full blown listing season. I was like, yeah, we can do that. And then as it's been approaching, I'm like 34 one week, 31 one week, 32 the next. I'm like,
maybe we're not.
Maybe we should not go. And then last night, it was really funny. She was like, I'm trying to do all this stuff at work. I got Mother's Day to get ready. I got this to get ready. I was like, but you can stay. I'm still going. You can stay here and keep teaching for the week. And she looked at me. She was like, are you stupid? I was like, I'm gone, girl. I don't care.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we've
crossed into the crazy land.
But anybody else got anything about listing season blitz before we wrap up?
No.
Be
just
prepared.
Love on your people. Be prepared. Yep.
Be prepared. But with that, be prepared. If you're not, then you're not ready. Make sure that you reach out to one of them over there, the other two ladies, to get ready. Yep. Then that way they can call me so I'm ready.
That's right. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Right. Anyways, that's the end. Episode 51, Listing Season Blitz. Guys, remember everything that we say is based on our opinions. So go talk to somebody else if you want some real facts.
Yeah.
It's just what's coming up and what we see. But anyways, stay tuned. We got a cool guest coming up next with this next episode this month. And who's going to shed some light on why it's important to do home inspections.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
There's people going back to those old days of, we'll waive the inspection. No, don't do that.
No.
There's crazy stuff in these houses. Check them out. Anyways, love you guys.